My sister's voice sliced through the hall like a blade. "This is my widowed sister, a cheap, single mom." A ripple of laughter spread across the tables. Then my mother added, grinning, "Anyone interested in taking her home?" Their laughter became a roar. My daughter's hand trembled in mine. I didn't flinch. I just watched them. The people who raised me, the sister who once braided my hair, now stripping me of dignity under chandeliers and floral arches. Humiliation is a sharp thing, but sharper still is the silence of someone who's already planning. When the groom stood up, the hall froze. He walked toward me, knelt, took my daughter's tiny hand, and said, "I'll take them." And that was the moment they finally understood something had shifted. They just didn't know how much. My sister, Ariba, wasn't always venom. We grew up sharing secrets under blankets, whispering dreams like they were sacred. When I married young, she cried harder than I did. She promised she'd always protect me. But some people are only kind when you're beneath them. After my husband died, after I was left with a child and debts and grief that hollowed my bones, she changed. My vulnerability fed her ego. My struggle became her entertainment. And when I moved in with our mother temporarily, I became the family's punchline. They laughed at the widow, the broke one, the single mom. Every joke carved something out of me, but I stayed quiet. I learned that silence was not weakness, it was storage. I was storing everything. The shift came slowly. Ariba started spending more time on her phone. She guarded it like a secret lover. The groom, Rafi, always looked exhausted, as if carrying weight he couldn't name. One night I found out why. I had returned from a job interview, late and drained. Passing the living room, I saw her phone lighting up on the sofa, her name flashing across the mirrored screen. A message preview. A photo. Her. And not just any photo, one she should never have sent. Followed by a message, "Just delete everything before the wedding." My breath didn't hitch, my heart didn't race. I simply stared at the truth I had already begun to suspect. She wasn't marrying a man she loved. She was marrying a man she was blackmailing, and he was trapped. The next messages confirmed it. Threats, screenshots, a voice note. She had enough dirt on him to ruin his career, his family, his freedom. So the perfect bride wasn't perfect at all, and he knew. But he didn't know that I had seen. I walked away quietly. Knowing changes a person. It sharpens you. I didn't confront her. People like Ariba thrive on chaos. I would starve her of it. Instead, I made copies, backups, files stored in places she'd never imagine. I reached out to Rafi anonymously first. Just one sentence. "I know what she's holding over you." He didn't reply, but I knew he read it. The typing bubble blinked for a long time, then vanished. The next morning, I met with a lawyer who owed my late husband a favor. Quiet man, sharp mind. He looked at the evidence and said, "This is criminal, jail-level criminal." Good. I wasn't seeking revenge. I was seeking justice disguised as opportunity. The wedding day shimmered with gold, laughter, and deceit. I played my part, silent, small, forgettable, a convenient target. Until they pushed too far. Until they mocked my daughter. That was the last line they ever crossed. Because when Rafi walked toward me, when he took my daughter's hand and said he would take us, he wasn't rescuing me. He was signaling that he was done being her hostage, that my plan was in motion, that he was ready. My sister's face twisted in confusion, then fear. She looked at him like she didn't recognize him. Rafi stood beside me. His voice was steady, cold, almost relieved. "She didn't tell you," he said to the stunned crowd, "that this entire wedding is built on blackmail." The hall erupted. Gasps, whispers, whiplash. My sister lunged forward. "Rafi, stop!" He raised the phone. Her threats played on speakers loud enough for everyone to hear. Her photos, her voice notes, her schemes. Every word she ever used to trap him, now freeing him. And this time, nobody laughed. My mother collapsed into a chair, face pale. My sister froze, shaking, whispering my name like I owed her mercy. But I had none left to give. 2 police officers, invited by Rafi earlier, stepped forward. Ariba's wedding veil slipped as they took her away. It was the only part of the ceremony that felt like a blessing. Later, after the crowd thinned, after whispers turned into silence, Rafi knelt aside my daughter again. "You saved me," he said. But he was wrong. I didn't save him. I freed myself. As I walked out of that hall, my daughter's hand warm in mine, I realized something simple, powerful. I wasn't the family's shadow anymore. I wasn't the victim. I wasn't the joke. I was the quiet storm they never saw coming. And I left them standing in the ruins they built for me.